A bit of it was set in Australia.
Yes, yeah.
All of it?
Yeah, I think it was all filmed down there.
Well, obviously the book must start off in Ireland, I think.
Yes, probably, yeah.
Right, I'm going to start the stream.
Okay. Right, leave you to it then. Do you want the door left open?
Yeah, I think so. It's bloody warm tonight.
Just kind of push it to.
Tell you what, just kind of push it too. Thank you.
That's what you just said.
I know.
All filmed down there.
Well, obviously the book must start off in Ireland, I think.
There we go. That's all working. Excellent, yeah.
So what do you say we're covering, David?
Well, I'm not going to tell you because we're live
Okay.
now.
All right.
You should know better than that by now, Keith.
Sorry.
Liam D. Vapor says you can't buy hemp at the supermarket. Did you know that?
Buy what?
Hemp.
Can you? I don't know.
You can, not at the supermarket. Well, you can if they've got fishing section. You can get hemp seed.
Oh,
And
right.
it's not all heat treated to stop it from working. Don't you know? Very boring, says Keith.
Pardon?
Very boring, says Keith.
Oh, another Keith.
No, you.
Oh.
You are Keith.
Oh, right.
So there, now you know. Evening everybody. Hello, how you doing? Alright? Good. What's this? Hemp's not as easy to get hold of as CW, especially when raiding the girlfriend's makeup bag. CW?
CW?
Do you have no idea?
Makeup bag, girl.
Have you not got a makeup bag like?
No. I threw it out.
Did you?
Yes.
Right. Sav's going to tell us whether we're quiet or loud. Keith seems a tad quiet, but he may be mumbling.
I was, yes. Is that any better?
Oh, that's better,
Oh,
I think.
I
We'll
was
find out in a
mumbling,
second or two.
yes.
I shall twiddle with me knob. But just a tiny bit, it says. Cotton wool, DD. Oh, CW cotton wool. All right, I see. CW cotton wool. Cotton wool. I'm sorry, I've got chat all the way over here tonight.
Yes, I haven't a hope in hell of seeing that.
Very boring, said Clarty. What's it? Same to you, pal. Paul XB8 says, good eve, DD, and the big K.
The big K.
Big K.
Sounds like a Kellogg's cornflakes advert, doesn't it? Big K? Yes.
Big K. Special K. Special K.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, special K, yes. Don't eat cornflakes. Do you?
Crunchy nut cornflakes occasionally.
Oh, crunchy nuts.
Yes. I'd go down and read the list, but there's 67 of the beggars. Let's start at the top if I can get... Whoops, I'm there. Reggie, Alan Bede, Mark Shaw, Very Boring, Salisbury, Jeff Caldicott, Ryan Johnson, Miles Dolphin, Andy Oakley, Jonty, Deep in Spec, it just says Deep in Spec here, Dream Vap, it says here, Brian Fletch, DJ Reptile UK, Sav, Robert Allen, Carl Reptil, that's all I've got, Paul XB8, Liam D, Vapor, Rob Tafey, Max Drum, Gillis, Emil Sand, something or other, Blaze, Disco Days, The Furious Fury, Pete Collins, Mark Van Basten, Neil Roth, John Lonsdale, John Not Matt, Jersey, David has to be, Russell VF, me, and 35 viewers. That's 35 people, 34 viewers now. It's 34 people that are ghosting, that have not lodged in. Why did that go bling? Do not go bling on me again. Mail, go away. Quit. Special K as opposed to full fat, says Very Boring.
Full fat.
Hey, I'm on for... do you know, we bought some Jersey milk the other day,
Oh.
but it's been homogeneous.
Right.
Homogenised.
Homogenised.
Aye, that as well. It's been homogenised, so it tastes a bit caramelly. It was all good.
Jersey milk.
Jersey milk. I was going to put it on
You
cereal.
never see that now.
Well, you don't. We were in Morrison's.
All right. Morrison's is certainly the best supermarket around now
Is it?
for sort of fruit, vegetables and stuff like that.
Blaze says I'm one of the ghosts on the viewing screen. What? Lodging is a privilege. Lodging in. That, innit? Not a fine boy. Yes. Yep. Sav says we're better.
Good.
Yes.
Probably me mumbling.
Different mumble.
I'll have to be louder.
The Nars Hill. Jersey Dave says it's the only milk you can sell. He's obviously in Jersey.
Of course, yes.
Only milk you can sell in Jersey. They've got it in Tesco too. Full fat hemp milk. High as a kite when you've had your cereal on the morning. Huh? 2 screens, one for chat, one for viewing. That one's not logged on. Thank you, Blaze. Disco Des says you thought you got it from cows. Have you seen a cow press?
Pardon?
For the juice, cow juice.
No.
Oh, I've got special presses for to get the juice. I mean, when you think about it, it's a disgusting thing to drink, isn't it, milk?
I've never looked at it that way.
Well, it comes out of a cow's tits.
I always think it's massively underpriced. And I wonder who bears the brunt of that? The farmer?
The bull.
I mean, you know, when you think you can pick up 4 pints of milk, or 2 litres, for 85 pence. There's somebody losing out there.
The bull.
Well,
That's the one thing I learned when I used to go down to my mate's farm. Never try and milk a bull.
it rattles my cage, that.
Well, they only enjoy it for so long.
Trust you.
No, don't.
No,
don't.
you think about the price of milk.
Nah.
Really boils my dinkle, that.
Boils your what?
Dinkle,
Dinkle.
yes.
Could one be more explicit about what one's
Well,
dinkle
you know
is?
what I mean.
Ah.
Yeah. Aye.
Marco says the farmers get stiffed left, right and centre by the big supermarkets.
Exactly.
Exactly. Mammary gland fluid. Not as bad as cheese, which is congealed mammary gland fluid. It's milk that's gone off. That's what it is. Cheese is milk that's gone off. How it can have a sell-by date or best before, it's just a case of how gone off do you want it.
And of course you've got goat's milk.
After you with that. Always tastes a hair to me.
I don't like it.
I'm not keen. No pre-show. What the hell do you think this is like? Mark Shaw says we're the only species that actively seeks out milk post-weaning. Interesting, that.
Mm.
Reggie says, DD, milking a bull, you upping one on Daz with carrots? No, Daz is a consummate carrot milker. I'm saying no more of that. And Paul XB8 says he heard last week of a guy who took some VG and mixed up some of his own man juice and vaped it. Excuse me?
God almighty.
Nah. Yes, Ed, it does sound so yummy. That'll tell you how far back we are. Miles Dolphin, cheese is rotted bovine lactation. Oh, God.
God's truth.
Ah, Marco. He said in chat, come again, Dave.
It's beginning to...
Yes, and it wasn't me.
No, it
Wasn't
wouldn't
me.
be, would it?
I didn't do it. I wasn't there. Right,
It wouldn't.
we've got 90 seconds.
Oh, you're timing yourself in, are you? Yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we're all good. Because I don't get any dingly donglies. I'm do not disturb on Skype, don't you know? Rennet? What?
Rennet.
Rennet. And then Blazers said, isn't that stomach lining?
It is, isn't it?
I've no idea.
I think so.
I don't really want to know. I'm going to put the filler on and we'll be back in a couple of ticks. Shall I?
Yes.
safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Yes, they are sponsors of the Haze Hour. We're live now,
Yes.
Keith. This is the show.
This is the show.
This is the
Yes.
show. Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Good evening.
And yes, it's Keith.
Yes.
Special K, big K.
Special God. Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I would say it in Polish, but I don't know how. Well, I do actually. Dzień dobry. There you go. That's
Impressive.
Polish. Oh, hey, Poland was good.
Yes.
Cheap as chips.
Yes, you were
Cheap as
saying.
chips. Cheap as
Amazing.
chips. Really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed the time over there. And thanks to Luke and Martin for keeping us company. And everybody that went. It was fabuloso. And if you haven't seen the live show that we did from there, 2 pairs of trousers are spoiled doing that.
Why was that?
I was cacking myself.
I bet you were.
I was.
Why?
Why? Well, to begin with, it was a case of breakfast in Newcastle, dinner in Warsaw, luggage in Heathrow.
Oh, of course, the luggage.
Yes, and the luggage had all the sound equipment in, dear viewer, which meant we had to cobble stuff together. And when the luggage did arrive, about an hour before the show went out, I'd got it all cobbled together. It didn't quite go according to plan, but it went. So ergo, for quite a large period of that time, I was what's known in the trade as touching cloth.
Yes, but you were inventive in the end.
So I'm told. So I'm told. Tonight though, we're going to be looking at a number of little things. But while we're talking about Poland, and before we get to no, I'll talk about it afterwards. I got some juice over there, Polish juice. I wasn't alone. There was a shop called edim.pl. E-dim, D-Y-M. Where is it? Yes. And I got to close you up, you come, Dave. Close you up, you come. Badoink, there you go. That's what I bought. Look at that. VG Biobaza, 36 milligram. Right? And
Right.
that was the sum total of £8.50 for 100 millilitres.
Bloody hell.
Aye. Bloody hell's the word. £8.50, 38 zlotys for 100 mils. Surprisingly enough, I brought 400 mils back with us.
Incredible, that.
It's not bad going, is it? And while we were there, I got bought an atomizer by my darling
So
wife.
there was a variety of flavours there.
Oh yeah, 100 mil
Right.
bottles.
Right.
But that's just base. £8.50, £9 at the outside, depending on the exchange rate on the day. So I got 400 mil. That'll get us away on holiday. It'll be fine. What? Wick to scrape with cotton, harsh, just done 2 kanga coils with it, both harsh, strange, very strange nail. Never mind. Anyway, right, yes. They're talking about all kinds in chat, I've got no idea what. But tonight, you might have seen when I went to Close You Up You Can't, we're going to have a look at this. It's called a Plume. Is what it's called. Plume. Heat not burn. Plume. Just come onto the market in the UK.
So that's not Polish.
No.
No, right.
No, that's it's American.
Right.
But it's being marketed by JTI, Japan Tobacco International,
Right.
in the UK. It's just come in, and I spied it at UK NSCC. One of the folks from Ash had it, so I thought, right, asked her, would you buy his one? So we're going to have a look at that. And as I say, during the course of our time over there, it was my birthday last week. This atomizer here, it's called an EHPRO, ePro. came into my possession as a present from my darling wife. I'm going to have a look at this because it's not just a tanky job, it's a dripper as well, and it's a bit clever, and I quite like it. So we're going to have a look at that. And there might be other bits and bobs that we'll talk about during the course of the show. What? No, it's not a PAX. Mark Shaw says it's not. No, it's not a PAX. A PAX is not in the UK yet, Mark. At least it's not that I'm aware of. But yes. Cerulean C says it does look like old school tampon applicators. Let's not go there. You will all note, I trust everybody notes, that wasn't me. That was Lorian. And I think it's probably a good point to take the titles. Shall we have the titles?
It looks, doesn't it look anonymous?
Anonymous.
You know, you cannot relate it to anything really, can you?
Well,
just to look at it standing there.
Pardon?
To look at it standing.
Titles. Shall we do it the way we do it?
Right.
We'll do it the way we do it and say, hello, good evening, and welcome to the Haze Hour. Yes, we're back in the room. Keith's got millions of questions, which we'll try and answer.
Has he?
Well, you've just asked a load.
Right.
You know. Before we go any further, I've got to tell everybody this will be the last Haze Hour until September. And the same applies to VT Talk. My schedule for the next 3 weeks is absolutely hectic. And unfortunately, we're just not going to be able to have time to put everything together and do the viewers justice. The team, as you know, we're in a parlous state at the minute, and there's lots of things still hurting. So tonight, Haze Hour. Tomorrow night, Marco van Basten will be here with Vapor Scene, and then that'll be it until September. We've had a quick parley, and we think it's best to do it that way so that we can get our heads together and come up with what should be, we hope, a really good series of programmes starting in September to take us through to Christmas and into next year. We need to have a good look at how it's all going to work, and we want to do the best that we can for everybody out there that's watching. What we don't want to do is deliver crap. So I'm sure you'll all understand it is what it is. We need to take this break and get everything back together. I will say this though, if anybody fancies being a presenter on vaportrails.tv, we want to hear from you. Let us know. We'll break you in gently. We did with Marco. We'll break you in as gently as we can. We'll give you all the help that we can. But that's the way it stands for the moment. This will be the last Haze Hour until September. And I hope that's going to be all right for everybody. It is the way it is, but as DJ Reptile UK has said, advocacy is more important, and my schedule between now and the beginning of August is absolutely hectic. I've got meetings all over the place, and there's all kinds of stuff that we need to be doing, so there you go. And yeah, Neil Ruff saying, never seen any crap, but if you say so, we abide by it, DD. You haven't seen the rest of the show tonight yet, man. And Mootlet says, aye, well understood, DD, whatever you got to do. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, and I've got to prioritise that over what we're doing here. It's not something that I wanted to say. It's not something I ever wanted to say. We're not going away. We're regrouping, we're recharging, we're getting everything sorted out so that when we come back in September, hopefully you'll see shows the like of which you've never seen before, at VOD notwithstanding. And I've been looking into that as well. There's all kinds of stuff we've got to do. Yeah. Very boring says, crap with no content is his speciality. Well, it's not true. It's not true, VB. We know that. And Spiritus Vape says, can we nominate people? Lorien needs a show. Yeah, and the bandwidth to go with it. But there you go. Okay, right. Let's plough on, shall we? Let's give this some humpty and take a look at this here Plume.
Yes.
Because I think this will
I'm interested in seeing this.
It'll interest you, Keith. It'll interest a lot of people. Now, this is heat not burn. I'm going to try and run through it in some kind of semblance of order, and I'm not going to do an unboxing and what have you, but this here is the box that it comes in, and it is very nicely put together. But it does say on it, as you'll see at the bottom, if that's in focus, tobacco vaporizer.
Really?
Oh yes. This is not an e-cig. And it says on the side, Plume, rethink tobacco. And the way it works is actually quite simple, but again it says on the back, you should hopefully be able to see it there, it says, now there is Plume, real tobacco, rich vapour, enjoy. Plume is the new way to enjoy tobacco. Plume gently heats real tobacco to release an authentic vapour. Choose your favourite pod and experience tobacco on your terms. So how does it work? Well, these are the pods, and you'll see there's a couple of empty ones here. Now the first thing you'll notice is the size of that little pod thing there, right? And here are the ones that come, and if I put it this way around, hang on, put the lid back on, David, and then you can see what's happening. This is the multi-pack, and you'll see, I don't know whether you'll be able to make it out. I'll try zooming in a little bit and see what happens. See whether we can actually, there you go. The purple one is silk cut, the silvery one is B&H, Benson and Hedges, then Camel, then Emerald, Lugano and Dragon. Now, they can use these because JTI does silk cut, Benson and Hedges and Camel, right? That's part of that. But you'll notice it has on it a warning, and typically for me it says smoking may reduce the blood flow and causes impotence. I think it might be meant to be viewed that way. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, right. So it is a tobacco product. Smoking seriously harms you and others around you. So that's where we go. And DJ Reptile has said it looks just like a pack of 10, and these look like miniature Nespressos, which is exactly what they do look like. So as you'll gather, I've tried the Dragon, didn't like it, and I've tried the other one, whatever that one's called, can't remember the colour now, B&H I suppose. So let's check the colours out again. It's murder being colourblind, Keith. We'll try, shall we start with, what did you used to smoke?
Richmond.
So B&H would be close.
Yes.
Silver one. Silver one. Right, silver one, there we go. So this is what you do with it. First you've got to get your little pod out the box, like so. And then I'll take it off the charger. Now, I should point out, you'll see on the bottom there's two little magnets, and one's darker than the other, right? And they go into the charger. This is the charger here, boink. And that's it, it's magnetised in. When that light is solid, it's fully charged. I've had it on charge all afternoon to be sure that it was fully charged for tonight. One thing I should point out, it doesn't come with a USB adapter.
Right.
Right, it's a USB charger, but it doesn't come with a USB adapter. So what do? Well, you take this tip off, like that, and then you take your little Plumey cartridge thing, and you drop it in the end. You can see that little silver bucket there? And that goes in there.
So
like
just
that.
the same principle as these coffee machines.
It's exactly the same principle as a Nespresso, yes. And then you screw the tip back in, and that punctures.
The tip punctures the capsule.
Punctures the capsule, that's right. And then you switch it on, and you'll see it starts flashing. And this is where you don't hold this bit, because that bit gets hot. And now you have to wait.
Oh, right.
You have to wait until that goes solid again, because it's now heating up.
Right.
This is not like an e-cig where you press the button and suck. You see? Silk Reptile Keeper said silk cut ain't bad if you cut the filter off. Other herbal substances are available. Yes. So, as you can see, we're waiting. Is anybody keeping time on this? I think we're at a minute thus
I
far.
would have thought so, yeah,
Yes.
about a minute.
Minute and 10. It's still flashing away. As they do. If you're gagging for a fag, or you're gagging for a drag, I should say, you need to know you're going to be gagging
I
for
mean,
a
I
drag.
know you have more to say, but I'm just trying to work out in my head what the thinking is behind this.
The thinking behind it is that it's a harm reduction. Heat, not burn. If there's no burning, it reduces the tobacco-specific nitrosamines. There's no carbon monoxide and all of that kind of stuff. Let's go back to close-up.
So is the tobacco actually processed tobacco that would go into real cigarettes? Is it the same stuff?
I bloody hope not, because have you seen the size of the pod? I mean,
Yeah.
there's my finger, there's the pod.
So what is it that's in the pod then?
Well, it's supposedly real tobacco, and this is ready to go, right?
Sorry, I'm
Right.
asking all these
So
questions.
now what you do, you just drag on it. Give that a go, son. Hold it at the bottom, below the button. Dear God Almighty.
So
Just
it's red hot
I know
already.
it is. You've just got to suck on it. That's why I said don't press the button. You just suck on it, just like a fag. Are you getting anything?
No, no, I'm not. I mean, it's just flavourless.
I'll try.
In my opinion. I mean, what?
With tiny little wee draws.
Where's this come from?
Well, it's been invented in the States.
I'm sorry. Let's have another go. Let's see.
You got to take tiny little wee drags. Don't put your fingers above that button, whatever you do, or you'll burn yourself.
Well, exactly.
Mhm.
You need asbestos gloves.
Well, if you know where to hold it, just tiny little wee draws. You cannot take a decent draw with it. I'll go closer up on you. Reggie says nose hit it. Did it be daft? There's no to hit.
Sorry.
I tell you what, get my bang out of a glass of water. I'll try again.
I mean, what?
You could stealth that all day long. Getting out of it though.
So, I mean, I know it depends on how you use it, but what would be the expectation in terms of how long one of those pods would last? Let's
Well,
say it was you or
let-
me.
Let's. I wouldn't say it was unsafe because of the heat, Kizzy. No, I can hold it. It's hot, but it's not going to burn you. It's not going to blister you. It is hot, but it's not scadding.
I mean, can I ask, do they come in various colours?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a stealth device, if naught else.
I mean, it looks almost pharmaceutical, that.
Well, yeah. Yes. There is no claimed milligram on this. I'm just reading what chat said. There is no claimed milligrams. Disco Desert said you could stealth with a straw and get more satisfaction. But what I'll do, I'll switch it off for the time being. Just hold the button down and let it cool off. And let's go to the user guide. Go to the user guide and see what it says. And I'll put this on closely up you can so you can all say I'm not telling porkies. Step 1, remove mouthpiece. And there's pictures for fear you cannot read, look. Insert vape pod, that's step 2.
Vapor.
Foil side up, replace mouthpiece by inserting and twisting to lock in place. Then it says power on. Press and hold the button, blah blah. Wait until it stops. While heating, indicator will light. Right? Plume heats up in 30 seconds. When Plume is ready, indicator light is solid. Take a puff and enjoy. A puff. Hold the button down to turn off. Light will turn off. Be careful. It might be hot. It is. And there you go. Now, what it doesn't tell you is how long a pod should last. I'm going through it all here. They do it in black as well as white. Tells you how to clean it, all of this. Disposing of vape pods, but nowhere in this does it tell you how long a vape pod should last. It's designed to turn the tobacco in vape pods into vapour, which it does. But it's not very good vapour. And it doesn't hit very hard. And I'll look at it from here now. How do I know the vape pod's finished? When it stops producing flavour and vapour. How long does the device last on a charge? Approximately 4 vape pods, it says here. And then 90 minutes for the device to reach 100% charge. And you can stop it and resume it later. But it doesn't tell you anything about how long it's supposed to last.
And presumably it also doesn't tell you what's actually in the pods.
It's a tobacco product. Do they tell you what's in fags? It says on the side, close you up, you come again, a product of JTI International, made in the EU. And that, under the TPD, they just have to tell them they're putting them on the market. There's no testing, no clarting about with all the rest of it.
You see, if you've got a cigarette, you know it's tobacco in it because you can actually see the tobacco.
Well, it does tell you that there's tobacco in it, but
in what form?
Well, it's. Do you want us to open one? And we'll have a bit poke about inside one. I'm going to have a poke about inside this dragon, because this dragon one's menthol, and it's horrible. So I'm going to try and get zoomed right in. This is going to be interesting to see if we can do this. Get zoomed right in. And go into, I've got to do this via the menu. I'll tell you what, we'll play the adverts in. When we come back from the adverts, I'll have got the camera set up and we can have a look right inside it and see exactly what it is. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Do not go anywhere. Oh, just before we do go, it was described by somebody whose opinion I trust as shite, and I'm going to say...
I think that's a good summary.
I think it's about right. Shite. 20 quid's worth of shite. Back in 2 minutes.
Safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we're back in the room. I couldn't wait any longer. Right, close you up you can. Well, close you up. That's as close as I can get it Are we all ready for this? The pods will be taxed like tobacco, Liam, yes. Yes, the pods will. Mark Shaw, same company make that thing, Dave and Keith are sucking the life out of it, or seem to be sucking the will to live out of them. Yeah, here we go. Right, so I have my little, tiny little wee screwdriver, and I'm going to pop the pod top. I hope you can all see what I'm trying to do this. And this is, you can see straight away, right? And if I just pull it out, this is how much tobacco there is in it. It's actual real, very finely minced tobacco with, I suspect, a bit of glycerin in it. You could put other things in it, I suppose, if you wanted to, he said. Now, I'm gonna say this. That doesn't look to be enough tobacco there.
You see, looking at that on screen, it looks very deceptive compared with what I see here on the white paper.
In terms of size, you mean?
Yes.
I'm going to try and sort that in a minute. I'm just busily trying to rake this all out so everybody can see what's there. Leanna Lawless says it looks like floor sweepings. Mark Shaw says compressed baccy. Look at this. I think I've got most of it out. But I'm telling you now, you couldn't even make a Borstal rollie with that. And if anybody in the audience knows what a Borstal rollie is, bad buggers. Right. It's even on my fingers. Right. That looks...
That's it, is it?
I cannot see that there's much more in, Keith. Oh, there was a bit. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it a disservice. That's it. I think I've got it all out. Tappity tap. Right. That seems to be the lot. Now, just to try and give you some idea, right? There is a standard drip tip beside it. Just to give you some idea of how much baccy there is. There's a standard drip tip beside it. That's it. Prison rollies.
I mean, I would reckon there, looking at it, a quarter of a teaspoonful
No, it's not even that.
at the most.
Not even that. A teaspoon is 5 mils, right? That, I doubt that would even hold a mil. That there, that Plume thing. I doubt it would hold a mil. It might be a mil. That might be about the size of it, but that's what's in it.
Dear me.
So, nah. Not impressed.
I'm stuck for words.
Well, very boring, said, yeah, I'm down to 300 vape pods a day. You're gonna, I mean, if that's...
I mean, one, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. Two, I'm suspicious of it. Three, I just can't imagine that catching on in any shape or form. It just seems to me something of a con.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, because JTI's got a lot more money, that's hot, than I have. I'm going to try something. Seeing as how we've just pulled all that baccy out of that other tin, I'm just going to whack a bit of e-liquid into what bit of baccy's there, and drop that in. You might gather, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if I knacker this, because it's shite. And I'll switch it on to give it some humpty, close the up your camera so people can see. There we are. Whoops. There it is. Little lights are flashing. Little lights are flashing. It says 30 seconds and it went on at 15 seconds past.
Do you have a fire extinguisher in here?
Why?
I just thought the thing might just...
I doubt it. I've got big feet, I can stamp on it. Right, we're at 25 seconds. We're now at 30 seconds. And to me, that hasn't heated up yet. We're now at 40 seconds, and it's still pulsing away like a good one. 45 seconds now. I'd love to know where this 30 seconds is. Vaporising is much more efficient than burning, so it's a bit unfair. The device isn't vaporising it. It's not doing very well. That's steady?
That's it.
Steady enough, it's just pulsing slightly. 4 pods per charge, Lorian. 4 pods per charge. Right, here we go. A bit of e-liquid in. Well, that's altogether better. It's a bit gurgly. Now we'll have a try.
Oh, that's better.
See, there you go, e-liquid. Put a bit of e-liquid in, it works better. I don't know.
I mean, look how it's producing
compared with what's in it when you get it. Yeah.
Burning very hot.
Yes. Because it's direct heat on it. Direct heat on it. Not impressed. However,
yes, wow.
Be interesting. It'd be very, very interesting to see what you could do with other herbal products.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just a PG juice.
Be interesting to see if they catch on.
Yes. Somebody did say I like the charger's good, and I've got to admit I do like the way it works in the charger, and if you could get an ego to work like that, that would be canny too. But there you go, that's it. That's the Plume. I am not impressed. I'm just not.
You wonder how it's caught on in the States then, don't you?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody must wonder. I'm not that worried myself, I've got to say. I don't know how it would do it. Shall I have a look at something that does work?
Yes.
Yeah, shall we do that? How much of the pods, says Disco Des, you don't want to know. That mixed box of 12 pods is nigh on £8. I'm assuming therefore that 12 pods, roughly, they think, is going to equate to 20 fags, I would imagine.
Yes.
But they're not saying. There's no claims made, so I could just be guessing. But it's not cheap. Not cheap at all. And I'm not that. Yes.
So the economics are far from sound.
No, they're not good. They're not good at all. Right, let's go back to Closey Up You Come and see whether we can get to this. It's one of those shows, isn't it?
Has that left your lips burning a bit?
Not really.
Oh, sort of tingling.
Maybe it's just got a little bit of juice on them. Yes, this EH Pro thing, right? It is a clone. I have recently discovered, but it was bought for me for my birthday, and I thought I would share with you. Now, those of you that have seen the spheroid, Sav's very keen on the spheroid. She likes the spheroid a lot. So does Kat. And this is kind of, it's sort of a bit like a spheroid. Let's take it off me nanos with the kick in, as it usually does have, and I'll take it off the nanos top, and let's see what makes this tick, because this is a bit clever, is this, and you can do it in two guises. You can do it as a tank or as a dripper. So I shall screw it on, and the first thing I'm going to do is take the drip tip out that comes supplied and put that to one side, and I'm going to turn it upside down and take the tank off, and there is the tank. Alright?
Right.
Now, ignore that, nothing to see here, put that out the way. What I'm now going to do is get a cloth, because I need one, because as per usual my hands are all sweaty, it gets very hot in here, and I'm going to unscrew this bottom end of the tank. Right, so you can see how it all comes together. And here we go. The tank, do it on screen, David. The tank is a tank as you might expect. That's where it fills. And there's the chimney going up. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's just what you would expect of a tank, and you fill it in the normal way, down the side, blah blah blah. Exactly as you would a squib or a variety of other things. That would be where in the spheroid you would have the cotton. But as you will note here, there are two wicks that go through those two holes that end up and go down and touch on your wicking setup in there. Yes?
Right.
Right. But that's not where it stops, because you also get in this kit another top. Put it there, then people can see it, David. And that's for dripping. And that just pushes on like so. And then you can put an extended drip tip in like so. And then you can screw that onto your device, which I shall do. Mark Shaw says it's a Flash E Vapor clone, which is exactly what it is. I didn't realise it was a clone until we got home. But there it is, put together, right? Go to that one. That's it, in dripping mode, right? And switch it on, Dave. And it works rather nicely. Have a drag. Bottom button on that one, Keith.
Mm. Ah, it does.
Now, while Keith's dragging away at that, I'll try and show you some bits and bobs on here. You will see here an air hole, and what you get in the whole kit, if I just place that back down there, is a whole host of little screws that screw into that air hole. This is the clever part. I hate having sticky fingers, or not sticky fingers but slippy fingers, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but we'll try anyway. These little screws that I'm holding up there, if you can see it, get that in the middle, David. You might be able to see that there's a little hole down the centre, and each of the screws has got a different size hole.
Right.
So you can adjust your drag according to how you like it, tighter or slacker. Now I've got to own up to this and say I'm going to take a drill to this one, because I've become a great proponent of the art of the lung drag, the lung draw, the lung inhale, and that hole in there for me is a little bit on the small side, so I'm going to drill it out in stages and take it up to about 2.5 3 mil, because I like a big hole. I want a big hole in it. But as a means of getting the juice down, like I say, we got it last Wednesday and I had it built last Wednesday night. Great thanks actually to John Diver, who had his kit with him and therefore enabled me to re-wick a couple of bits and bobs. He gave us some wire. He's a good lad, he's John Diver. Thank you, John, friend forever. Owe you one, matey. Owe you one. Buy a pint next time I'm in London. So that's it now in we shall feed you mode. Can you chuck us that back over, Keith? And I shall whip off the dripping top, which just pulls off like so, and then drop on the tank mode one, and that's it. It's ready to go. And obviously the drip tips are interchangeable, standard size drip tips. Put the drip tip back in, there we go back to wide shot, and I've been using it since last Wednesday, and It's never leaked. It's fed perfectly. I've had it running at all kinds of different wattages and it's done the job really rather nicely. I will say though that there's a little pin that locates the top.
Right.
If you've got it set up according to the instructions, your wick's going to be in the orientation straight across the screws.
Right.
So that puts those two dangly downy bits onto the wick that way. Well, the little pin dropped out, but I've got a cloud, as you saw, on the wick, so that it just drops down onto the wick and then the wick works perfectly, and it's great.
What would you reckon the tank capacity is?
It's 4.5 mil on that one. That's what I'm getting into it. I think I might be able to get a bit more in. Now that came from e-dim.pl, and it sounds like it's a hell of a lot of money when you say it's 249 zlotys.
Oh, right.
Or 45 quid. Roughly. And it's cracking. I really rather like it. Now what are they on? Aha, Moonlit says, I think I'll stick with my Nautilus. Funnily enough, I got a Nautilus while I was over there as well to try. I'm not talking about it today though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is. What have you got in it?
It's the VG, the base.
All right.
With a little bit of, I've got a little bit of RY4 in it, just for flavour, because I'm not a big flavour hound, as everybody knows. But it's working very nicely. I quite like that.
Yeah, I prefer the tank.
Yes.
I think.
Well, I think to a large degree,
Yes.
I think it's down to I've got it tanked up all of the time, because as anybody that knows me will attest, I am to dripping what chocolate is to teapots.
Yes.
Useless. I can't manage it. I've got that because I want to try it.
So, what's that set at then? What have you got it set at?
About 10 watts.
Right. Right.
10, yeah, it's 10 and a half, something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly sort of the opposite to being tight, isn't it?
Oh, it's quite a slack draw.
Yes.
But you can tighten it up by
Yeah.
putting those screws in. And the thing about it is, bloody thing works better than that Plume.
I think I'd be better off with it tighter.
You want it tighter? Some folks are never satisfied. Hang on. It's all right. I shall screw a screw in and tighten it up for you. What size tight would you like?
I'll leave that to your discretion.
Well, I'll go not quite cat tight, and I'll do this on closey up you can. I'll start doing it on closey up you can, and then we'll cut away to the adverts. So that just drops into there, and you take your tobacco encrusted screwdriver and screw it in, and that's it.
Right.
That's it. That's all you need to do. And obviously, once you've found the tight you like,
Yeah.
once
good
you've got it
then.
to, you know, I said I wasn't going to take it to cat tight. I think I have, but I've got a wider bore one.
Wait a minute.
Any good?
Yeah, I can inhale with that. I couldn't with the other setting.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that tight enough or too tight?
Tight enough, I think.
There you go. How many times, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear a man say, it's tight enough? Adverts.
e-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour. e-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we're back in the room on the final half. Should just mention with this Pro, back to close you up, you come, David. When it comes with the metal base on the tank, and you might have noticed that I've replaced the metal base with the windowed base that comes, so you can see how much juice is left. I have to say, it's a well set up kit when you get it. Yes, it's a clone, and but it's not sold as the clone. It is what it is, you know. And I've been enjoying it. I like it quite a lot. And if that's the kind of stuff that you can buy in a bricks and mortar store in Warsaw, and there were two doors apart.
Really?
Two of them, 2 doors apart. There was EDIM, and there was one that was just called and I can never remember how to pronounce this, papierosi, which is Polish for cigarette. And he had one of those moving sign things going around over the top. And that was purely Joytech stuff that was in there. And all proper Joytech as well. There was no clones or out like that. But in EDIM, e-dym.pl, had all kinds of stuff there. Absolutely all kinds of stuff. Barrel loads of juices. Bloody great big drums of Canthal. It was fabulous to go in. If you're ever in Warsaw, it's just down the street from the Marriott, turn left and you're there, and it's a cracking place to go. Did enjoy it. Now then, I'm going to try and see what chat's been saying, because they've been saying an awful lot, all 137 of them. Now then, Jill CB hates anything that leaks too. Her aero tank Mega leaked badly from the airflow hole. I've got one of them coming, because I think it's the same diameter as my 722, and I want a big one to take away. Where are we at? Fergus is saying he could add a touch of class. He could. Max Drum's saying the only leak she's had on hers was when she forgot to screw everything together, and it's usually the ones with the short chimney piece that leak, so we'll find out all about this. And Sav says she just can't get it to be consistent, and that's no good for me, and I think she's talking about the K-phone.
Right.
Her K-phone leaked all over the place. Gillis has ordered 2 Kanga Pro Tank 3 minis, and he got 2 Nautilus tanks in error. Not impressed, gave them away. And he likes an Origin V2 dripper and a K-phone or Scrape. Talking about which, the Scrape R has been launched.
The Scrape R.
A Scrape R, and I kind of like the look of that one, but Cloud9 hasn't got any in at the minute, so I might have to wait until I get back from my Hollybobs, which is not too far away. What's going on? Got gurgles going on, nano tanks. There's all kinds of nattering going on about K-phones, and I do like a K-phone, I've got to admit. I've got the K-phone, the one that hasn't got the automatic juice feedery thing going in. And Sav's saying is what she doesn't get is 50% of the time it's fine, other 50% of the time it's not. So that's O-rings. It's always going to be O-rings. Yes. The Aero Tank Giant. I think that's the one I've got coming. The 30mm diameter one. That's the one I've got coming. Andy Oakley said. Max Hiatus said, Sav, send all your broken atties to her, him, itch, and hubby will fit it. I hope it's her, because hubby will fix them. There you are, Sav. Mega, yes, it's the big one, the huge, the 30mm one I've got coming. But yes, like Mega Aero, but a bit gurgly. Carl Reptile Rolly's just ordered one as well, so there you go. It's all good stuff. Only other thing I wanted to mention was this here. Close up the cam again, and it's the Vision Spinner 2 that I picked up at e-ciggy in the galleries, believe it or not.
All right.
Yeah, I got it there. The Vision Spinner 2, quite different from the original spinner. You can see this big cross thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
For when your fingers are all claggy with juice, slippy with juice, you can stick a screwdriver in if you want and turn it. But it goes from 3.3 volts to 4.8 volts, but, and I don't know whether you'll be able to hear this, there's little detents I've got turned all the way up. If I hold it by the mic, Dave, right, you'll hear the click. Hear the click?
No.
Very quiet click. Do it again.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it clicks. As per normal, I love the button actually, I like the shape of the button. It's quite good, that. 5 clicks, oh it's on, it's because I've been using it. And I've got a mini Pro tank on the top of it, which I also got at e-ciggy in the galleries, and it's quite nice. Very, very pleasant, quite nice. Have a try of that, see what you think. I quite like it. It's a bit of a handful. It's a bit
That's
bigger
a nice
than
finish, isn't it?
it is a lovely finish on it. There's all sorts of different colours available as well. Andy Oakley says lovely battery. It is. It's gorgeous. Leanna Lawless says she can get the first generation Squape working all the time, easiest to coil and wick, and I would agree with her with that. And it is a posh looking button on that spinner too. It is nice. Max Height says, here DD, new show, mend the atties. Max, get your hubby to do it. That'll be brilliant. DJ Reptile UK says, +1 on the original Squape lol, but I know some people are hit and miss with it. It's all in the wicking. It is, and the new one might be a bit better for that. I don't know.
I like that. Yeah.
It wasn't Windy Pops, it was a click. The Furious Fury 79 says V2s are very good, or quite good, sorry. Mrs. Fury loves his. Aren't you a lucky boy? Windy Pops Fergus, yes, Windy Pops is like a fart. You liking that, Keith?
Yeah. I like the button.
Button's lovely. That's going away with us abroad. Hi Rochelle, says Leanna Lawless. You liking that?
Yeah.
It's not a bad size, you know.
It isn't. No.
Not a bad size. And as you say, the finish is nice, you
It's
know.
an unusual finish, isn't it?
It is, yes. Max says the orange O-rings are better for the K-Fun, they'll last better. Get an air control base for the tank DD. Well, I'm going to be sticking some other things on. And I'm not going to read out what Paul XB8 has said, because he said top pocketed, Keith. Not happening.
No, a bit heavy.
Too heavy for Keith. It's
Too well for the top pocket. Aye.
and Lorian Carulia has said to Neil, who is her dad, Dad, DD has his airflow right open, loose as, and then there are 4 asterisks. Now I know Lorian quite well,
Right.
and what she'll actually have said, because we're going to be off air for nearly a couple of months, she'll have said, loose as fuck. That's what she'll have said. You watch. You watch. She'll come in and agree. Gillis says the Squape is easiest to set up and never leaks.
So what price range is that in?
That's the 20 plus
Right.
for that battery.
Oh, that's weird, yeah.
I've seen the prices between 23 and 27. Depends on where you go. But my darling wife has been eyeing it up.
Right.
She went, ooh, but you've seen that rainbow one of it. She won't even give us it to bring it on the show. She got a lovely rainbow finished Vision spinner, original spinner, and it's a gorgeous finish on it. And she won't let me have a bar of it.
She must be frightened she won't get it back.
Indeed. Oh dear. Whoops. Yes. Lorian went, lol, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, then Dave! Yes, Max Drum has it right. Posh has been busted. She says, how very dare you? Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Posh, but that's what you would have said. There you go. There you go. Which brings us round to 5 minutes to the hour of 10 o'clock. We're very, very nearly finished, Keith.
Yes.
I'm going to say this because, as I say, we're going to go after Marco's done his show tomorrow night. Vapor Scene, we'll be going dark for a couple of months until September. I'm going to miss you all. I am, but I've got so much to do. I'm hoping that if I can get a few days, this place is going to get ripped to bits and redone, so it'll look really nice.
All right.
I'm going to try and get that all done. It took me 4 hours to put the whole bloody lot
And
back
then we're
together.
going to have a show outside, weren't we?
If we can
the
manage
weather,
it.
yes.
It's the weather. It's been pittling it down today, which is a bit of a bugger. But I would like to do a show from the Gaze Boat if we can get that way. Yes. What? Now I've lost track with chat now. I have completely lost track with
Moving
chat.
too fast for you.
Well, they're talking about salads. That's just not good.
Salads.
Salads.
Oh.
Yeah, I've no idea. I've no idea. And the Furious Fury 79 says Mrs. Fury wants a rainbow one. You'll have to come to Washington and go down to galleries. Liam D. Vapor says it's been great having you back tonight. I've missed you both. It's yeah, and I'm going to miss everybody for the next couple of months. But seriously, we've got to regroup and got to get everything back together again. It's yes, all right.
And come back refreshed.
Refreshed is the word. Batteries recharged, ready to go. A shameless plug for tomorrow night. Marco's going to be looking at the new Joytech Delta 6ml tri-coil tank. Try saying that when you're full of Polish beer. Try saying that when you're full of Polish beer. I'd have had a go. Yes, I've been waiting for this review because I'm thinking about getting one. And so Lorian is whistling innocently. I have got no idea back. No idea why. Hey, September, I'm looking forward to it. People are saying we've missed you guys, going to be a long wait. Mark Shaw says, been great to have you all back for this evening. Look forward to September. VTTV's been a major part of keeping vaping fun for me. Ed said, great show, I'm going to miss everybody. Kizzy says, take your time DD and team, and we'll all look forward to seeing you again when you're all ready. Paul XB8 says, roll on September. Alan Fletcher says, we'll miss you all till September team. Nice to see you this evening though. Max Hyde says, enjoy your halls DD. Madre says, is there going to be a knees meet? Mad, you're up here. Get one organised, mate. Lorian said, 6ml tri-coil? Yes, knees meet. It is au revoir, not goodbye. It's definitely not goodbye. And Fergus One says, another shameless plug, buy his books. Go on, buy his books. Max Height says, DD, is there going to be a knees meet? Yeah, Ray's organising it by the sounds of it. Get it going. Get it going. Look, we'll be. Keith and myself and Kat and Sav, the whole of the team will be back in September. Don't forget to tune in for Mark tomorrow night, and he'll be back in September as well. But he's got this Delta going on. We're going to miss you, but until September, from all of us here, vape on, vape hard, and don't let the bastards grind you down until September for me. Cherry bite all of you. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful summer, and I'll see you when autumn leaves begin to fall. September. In the rain probably. Until then, from all of us here.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care.
e-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.